Now, we've all heard of the wonders of the world, and for many of you it seems that LOTW is one of them. Well, don't worry, I'm going to talk you through it. Here is step 1 on how to get set up on LOTW. First thing you're going to want to do is type into Google LOTW, and that should show these options here. You're going to want to pick that one at the top, which is www.awrl.org/logbook-of-the-world. So when you click that, it should bring you here to Logbook of the World. Now towards the bottom there, you'll see that Logbook of the World links. Go down there and in blue see Getting Started with LOTW. Click that. And that's going to bring you here to what I call the nerve center of LOTW. So you might want to make this page a favorite to refer back to it another time. Now go ahead and click that number 1 there that says download and install TQSL. That stands for Trusted QSL. You may also need to make sure that your firewall or security will allow you to download an exe or executable file. Now this brings you to this screen where you pick the operating system that you're running. Since I'm running Windows 7, I'm going to select that first blue Here button. And it's going to download. You'll see it there downloading in the lower left-hand corner. Now when that is done downloading, I'm just going to double-click on that, and up pops this box. And this is just a security pop-up box that's asking me if I want to go ahead and run the program. Now I do, so I'm going to go ahead and select Run. If you don't see this pop-up box come up, you may need to enable your pop-ups in your internet settings. And that's going to bring you to the Trusted QSL Setup Wizard. Now you're going to want to click the Next button here, which will bring you to the Terms and Conditions. Go ahead and read those and accept them, and then hit the Next button. Now this is where it's going to give you the destination folder it's created. If you want something else, you're going to go ahead and type that in up above there. And it's also going to let you know that it's going to create a desktop shortcut for you, and you want to go ahead and leave that clicked. And go ahead and hit the Next button. And here's where it's going to ask you if you want to go ahead and install the program, which you do. So go ahead and click Install. And you're going to see it start to install there for you. And that's it. Just click the Finish button and you're done installing the TQSL, and there's an overview or quick start of LOTW for you to read. Okay, once you close that document out, go ahead and double click your brand new icon TQSL on your desktop that you just created, and it's going to ask you to go ahead and read that introduction information and then click OK. And that's where it's going to notice that it does not have your call sign certificate on file, and it's going to ask you if you want to request your certificate at this time, which you do, so you're going to click Yes there. Now here's where you put in all your personal information. You're going to want to start with your call sign. I'm using my daughter's. She's never had a certificate before. Put the country you're from in there, and then also that start date it's going to ask you for. Now I know my daughter's call sign is a brand new call sign. No one's ever had that sign before, so I can leave that 1945 date and leave the end date alone. Now if you do have a call sign that someone has held before you, make sure you put the proper start date that you got your call sign. Fill in all the rest of your personal information there so they can go ahead and get you that certificate. And here's where you're going to put in your email address. And last thing, it's going to ask you for your password, and it's going to ask for you to confirm that password. So now you just have to click that Finish button, and you're almost done. It's going to take you to one last screen where it's going to ask you if you want to request your certificate electronically. You're just going to click Yes on that button right there, and you'll see the request being downloaded. Well, we're not exactly done. There's a new version available, so click OK, and it's going to upload that latest version. And this is the last screen you'll see. It's your confirmation that you requested your call sign certificate. I blurred it out so you couldn't see the address. And all you have to do now is wait by your mailbox for your postcard to arrive. It's going to have a password and instructions on how to upload your call sign certificate. And there's part 1 of LOTW.